Hey, I'm FTFE, and welcome back to the channel that ties stupidity to four horses and yells giddy up. The well of human stupidity is apparently bottomless, and people being stupid means they misunderstand something, and then access to the internet allows that misunderstanding to spread, and that leads to something like the chemtrails conspiracy, a collection of morons who think that warm exhaust from a jet engine meeting cold air and forming ice crystals is actually a sign that they are out to get you. They're wrong. It's not. A special thank you to my patrons for choosing the subject of this episode, as they will do with every episode of Stupid Humans, and voting for the next episode is open now. To join and become part of the FTFE team, head to patreon.com/FTFE. Joining me today to help combat the stupid is head of the Department of Earth-Shaped Counterintelligence and the man owed $100,000 by Flat Out Hero, MC Toon. So let's get on with it. I don't want any more angry letters about broken noses and smashed glasses, so make sure you have your facepalm protection handy. This is episode 3 of Stupid Humans, and this time, they think we're poisoning the sky.
We're living on a disk, floating through space, with a tiny sun.
Welcome back for another look at the stupid side of our DNA. Yes, today we're talking about chemtrails. You've all seen them, the white lines that form in the sky behind planes. It happens because hot exhaust from a jet engine meets cold low pressure air and forms ice crystals that dissipate at different rates depending on temperature and humidity, and they're called contrails. It's really stupid to think that all the airlines and pilots and engineers are in on this massive conspiracy. It's so obvious and easy to understand what contrails are. So what kind of person thinks that they are actually chemtrails?
Hello again, all my brothers and sisters, on our flat, domed, stationary Earth.
Oh god, that kind of person. Flat earthers are mostly believers in chemtrails because remember, if the earth is flat, everyone is lying to you. A typical conspiratard mindset that the general flat earther shows makes them cannon fodder for things like chemtrail conspiracy pushers. Let's listen to what Frankie's got to say.
Okay, so I wear my glasses. You see my eyes, they're clear. Reason why they're clear, we got total cloud cover here in the valley of the sun. I was telling all my subscribers that when they chemtrail over here, and when they do it great. They're like out of control when they do it. My eyes get so red. I have a problem now. It's really bad.
Yes, Frankie, I think you're right. You might have a problem. Your eyes are all red and you're seeing things in the sky. I think you need help, mate. Let's move away and leave Frankie and his eyes and have a look at someone else who believes in chemtrails.
Geoengineering or chemtrail spraying is becoming an everyday occurrence and more visible to the population every day.
Oh, for fuck. Another flat earther. I'm seeing a pattern of stupidity here. No, Mr. Dumb Marble. Chemtrails and geoengineering are very different things. Cloud seeding is what is referred to as geoengineering. It isn't used a lot and isn't very good. What you morons call chemtrails are just contrails. Just think about what you're saying. They have all these planes that have untold amounts of chemicals to spray into the sky. Where do they store it all? They have to carry people and fuel, you know? There isn't even any evidence for chemtrails. A Flerf named Harold tried to tell me recently that this was a picture of chemtrail containers in planes, when even a basic Google search will tell you that that's the ballast tanks used in testing the planes.
Any given day you can go outside and observe commercial or military aircraft leaving persistent trails in the sky that dissipate and ultimately coat the sky.
No, that's called getting cloudy and isn't evidence of a worldwide conspiracy to spray poisonous chemicals in the sky to control us.
According to ancient Hebrew cosmology, the earth consists of land masses in the midst of level oceans surrounded by the waters above and the waters below, also known as the Great Deep. God's throne is situated above the firmament.
Seems we've lost Mr. Marble there. He's been sidetracked by the flat earth. This is stupid. How can people believe this nonsense? What kind of evidence even is there for chemtrails? The majority of chemtrail videos online are just people looking at the sky with a camera and going, yep, that's some chemtrails up there. And it's no surprise that the conspiracy nuts like flat earthers cling on to it. What else have we got?
Basically, chemtrails is a geoengineering program where airplanes fly at high altitudes and they spray chemicals into the atmosphere, including aluminum, barium, and strontium. And then those metals fall to the ground and they land in our bodies, on the soil, in our trees, in our food, and in our water.
Oh, come on. No. Geoengineering is not chemtrails. And chemtrails aren't even a thing. There is no link between aluminium in the soil and hot exhaust meeting cold air. This is something called the false association fallacy. The chemtrail nuts have heard of geoengineering and cloud seeding and make a link.
Many people confuse chemtrails with the normal jet contrails. The difference is that the normal jet contrails actually dissipate within minutes, while the heavy metals in the chemtrails cause those trails to persist for hours.
No, that's simply different layers of humidity in the air that change the amount of time the contrails will hang around. The only people confused about it is you lot.
And it's not a hypothetical thing. There are 32 states that already have legislation that's related to weather modification. The U.S. agencies that are documented to be involved in it include the U.S. Air Force, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, the U.S. Department of the Interior, the National Science Foundation, and I know China boasted about using cloud seeding and weather changing before the 2008 Olympics in order to keep the opening ceremony dry.
And none of those things are anything to do with contrails or chemtrails, which aren't even a thing. This is stupid. I need some help. Call MC Toon. Hey MC Toon, I actually can't deal with the stupid. Please help me. I figured you'd be best person to deal with these chemtrail idiots.
Thanks, Craig. You know, I've been watching the chemtrail nonsense for about 15 years. When I first looked into chemtrails, it was clear the proponents had a strong misunderstanding of physics and a lot of empty claims. But I'm a good sport. To prepare for this video, I watched the best YouTube had to offer on the topic and read several chemtrail websites. Craig, do you know what progress the chemtrail crowd has made in the last 15 years?
Well, I imagine about as far as any flat earth researcher ever got.
Nothing. Same misunderstanding of physics and zero evidence. So let me start with a caveat. Cloud seeding is a real thing. It isn't very successful and it's not common. Cloud seeding also doesn't use the same chemical compounds as the chemtrail faithful usually say is in chemtrails. Most chemtrail videos on YouTube are extremely boring. It's just someone filming contrails and saying, look at this one. There's another one. I can't believe they're spraying us with this stuff. There's hundreds of these videos. They're all the same. They think they're doing research or documenting chemtrails. In the end, they're just wasting hard drive space that could be better used by this video.
Outside right here, no arms. With arms, resistance on the up. Good job, guys.
Yeah, that's a really weird video. But it's probably better than bouncing a ball on a hammer. Right, Nathan? So what do you think is in the chemtrails? What do they always say? Well, the consistent answer is barium, strontium, and aluminum.
I'm pretty sure that's pronounced aluminium.
We say aluminum.
Well, you shouldn't. I spoke with the Queen and she's not okay with it. Repeat after me. Aluminium.
Aluminum. Oh, well, potato, right? Wait, nobody says potato. Never mind.
Yeah, just get on with the debunking, please.
Predictably, there's no evidence that contrails contain aluminum, barium, or strontium. The best source they've found is testing chemical composition of the soil, and they found these elements in the soil. That's it. Planes flew in the sky, there's aluminum in the dirt, therefore chemtrails. Seriously, that's the extent of their evidence. I watched one of their best documentaries, What in the World Are They Spraying?, where they filmed contrails, didn't identify a connection, then spent an hour and a half on nothing. It was 4 hours longer than it needed to be. Do the math. But could there be another source of aluminum, barium, and strontium in the dirt? Well, these are common elements in the crust of the earth, so it's not surprising to find them in the dirt. Aluminum has been used in tons of products for decades. Could this cause an increased amount of aluminum in the dirt? Aluminum, barium, and strontium are all used in fireworks. Is it possible that blowing up these elements in the sky could cause an increased amount in the soil? Especially near population centers where coincidentally there are regular fireworks shows and airplane flights. I'm not saying these are the causes. I'm saying the chemtrail believers haven't done anything to identify the source of these elements in the dirt. There could be any number of reasons these elements are in the soil. They did nothing to confirm this link. But let's accept for a minute that they are spraying aluminum, barium, and strontium into the air. What's the purpose of these chemicals? What are they doing? What would the nameless, faceless they spend all their money and effort spraying the skies? With all the websites, videos, investigations, there must be a clear and concise purpose figured out. Again, as you'd guess, there's no clear reason. They claim all sorts of things, like to manipulate the weather, geoengineering, to generate electricity, to poison people, to reduce population, as weapons, as communication mechanisms, as for mind control. But how does aluminum, barium, and strontium accomplish any of these goals? I have no idea. And neither do the chemtrail faithful. After the huge amount of time spent investigating, they have no clear reason for the spraying. Seriously, maybe they should spend more time figuring these things out instead of filming contrails and ranting about stuff. So a lot of the claims about chemtrails is that it's harmful somehow, that they're controlling people, it's for mind control, it's to reduce human population. But the nameless, faceless they live in the same environment that the rest of us do. So they're spraying themselves. How are they immune from this? Do they have some sort of inoculation? Maybe they vaccinated themselves. Or they live in underground bunkers all the time and you never see them. Maybe they're lizard people and they're immune to it. It doesn't matter. It's silly. This video has more intelligence than that thought. Well, the chemtrail faithful have been making all sorts of claims forever. Have any of these imagined purposes happened yet? Who knows? They can't even decide on the reason why they think the spraying is happening. Well, you can't even have a reason for this. You can't even test to see if any of this stuff has come true. One of the larger YouTube chemtrail guys is Richie from Boston. Back in 2013, he posted what he claimed would be his last video. It's the same as all the other chemtrail videos, filming the sky, yelling at it, pointing out contrails here and there, and saying this one is longer, it's staying around longer, therefore they're spraying, without even understanding the physics behind condensation and the dew point. Let's have a watch.
We don't usually get it quite this obvious, quite this in your face, you know. You can't even see the sun. It's completely obliterated. I was wearing shorts and a t-shirt all day today. It was so nice out. I told the kid over at the coffee shop, he knows what's going on. I told him, watch, by 6 o'clock, the sun will be unseeable. So I was 15 minutes off.
The sun is unseeable. He looks at his watch and says the sun is unseeable, and then looks up and there's the sun. Richie, there's the sun.
That one right there has got to be 30 miles long, and there's another airplane coming right out of the bottom of it over yonder. That's Boston over there underneath that gigantic cloud of airborne metal.
There's airborne metal? Is that a way of saying like that Metallica is playing a concert right now in Boston?
Let me ask you, what do you call that? two planes at pretty much the exact same height. And I say that because I use Flight Radar 24 Pro Series.
Ooh, Flight Radar 24 Pro Series on his Android. But did you look it up for that particular flight, or are you just saying that? Because it doesn't sound like you looked it up.
That's what a contrail is supposed to look like, and I'm sure that's not even a contrail.
Richie, you just said that's what a contrail is supposed to look like, and I'm sure that's not even a contrail. So make up your mind. Is it a contrail? And it's not a contrail, but it looks like a contrail, but it's not a contrail. You're not making sense here, Richie.
This little fella, his buddy, then his wingman over here, was leaving a little trail behind him. So there must be three different aerosols going on right now. This guy, and then this guy.
There's three different aerosols going on right now. And you know this how? Because they look different. Could it be, just spitballing here, could it be they're at different elevations, different amount of thrust, the dew point and air pressure is different, and moisture is different at all of those different locations? That could be. But no, don't pay attention to the physics and the actual understanding of it. You're much better off with your complete lack of understanding making claims about three different types of aerosols that you don't even know what they are.
The toxic soup they're spraying in the atmosphere right now. We have no choice. We're breathing this. We're breathing it, drinking it, eating it.
Look, Richie, if we're breathing it, drinking it, and eating it, so are the people in charge of the chemtrails. How are they immune to whatever it is that you think is going on?
Look at the sun. You can barely recognize it. It's not setting yet either. It's got another half an hour before it sets. It's just behind this gigantic blob of gray, brownish stuff.
Yeah, Richie, we call them clouds. Is this new to you? Have you not seen clouds before? Today was the first day you went outside? Sorry, man. Kind of sheltered, huh? Okay. We'll get used to it. There's lots of them every day.
They're spraying, and the sun has long since set. They are still spraying away. Spraying away. The sun is no longer visible. So they're not blocking the sun right now for our benefit. They're spraying metal and chemicals or whatever the they're spraying all over us. All over us. So there you go. There's the argument right now. It's to stop the sun from killing us. Yeah.
So that about sums up Richie's understanding of it. He says they're spraying metals in the sky. He doesn't know what they are, doesn't know how they're doing it, doesn't know why they're doing it. But he's sure they're doing it because some contrails are longer than others. That's his evidence. He did say on the beginning of this video that this is my last video. This was in 2013. Since then, Richie, you've done 6 years of videos. So maybe it's time for you to come clean and delete all those other videos and quit making new ones. You know, that'd just be the honest thing to do, I guess. But I kind of doubt you're going to do that. Tell you what, how about since you don't have any evidence on your videos, you wrap up all the evidence that you have and you bring it on my channel and you can present it and then we'll look at it and review it. Or maybe we can do it on FTFE's channel. What do you think? Send me an email, mctoon@mctoon.net. We'll get it set up. So Richie has several other videos on chemtrails, including a bunch where he points at the sky and yells like a crazy person. But none of his videos have any evidence that the contents of contrails is anything other than what you'd expect from burned jet fuel. So, thank you very much for this opportunity, Craig. I'm MC Toon. If you like this stuff from me, go on over to my channel. I'm sure Craig will put a link in the description. Thanks.
Thanks for that, MC Toon. And it's Craig, not Craig. Why can't you Americans talk properly? So yeah, as MC Toon pointed out, there isn't any evidence of chemtrail spraying apart from, oh look, those white lines in the sky are there again. And that's pretty bad for such a widely accepted conspiracy theory. So with so many people on board with this particular brand of stupidity, what are people doing about it? Other than pointing a camera at the sky and screaming like a mental patient about they and them controlling our minds and poisoning the sky? Well, it appears that there's a very good method to get rid of the chemtrails. Let an idiot show you how.
Look at the skies being chemtrailed. Did you get a good picture of it? All right, everybody, now I'm going to spray, okay? Listen, you can, here's my little sprayer. See? It's vinegar. I know this sounds weird, but it does work. Don't get me in that thing either. Let me go around spraying for a while. Don't get me in. Here, so people know that I'm spraying. See, I'm spraying. And then you gotta wait a little while, and then they start to break up.
Yes, that's right, folks. The idiots that bring the average IQ of the human race down a few points think that spraying vinegar into the air gets rid of chemtrails. That's really fucking stupid. First off, the belief that a tiny amount of vinegar solution sprayed into the massive area of the sky would do anything is fucking stupid. The spray would just get dissipated in the air and blown away and get nowhere near the chemtrails. Secondly, chemtrails aren't a thing. It's just hot exhaust meeting cold air. It's a stupid conspiracy theory perpetuated by stupid people. Stop being stupid, please. Because that's all the stupid that I can take for today. But before I go, I want to say a massive thank you to all my patrons. Your support allows me time to focus on my channel and do what's important, bringing you great content and fighting the flat earth. I want to say an extra massive thank you to my $200 patrons, Christopher Kane and Jeffrey Sloan. If you'd like to join and become part of the FTFE team, go to patreon.com/FTFE. And thank you. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this, then please leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you aren't already, and hit the notification bell so you never miss anything from FTFE. Also, make sure you check out MC Toon and leave him a note saying FTFE sent you. And remember, stupidity is not a right. Fight the flat earth. Fight the flat. Fight the flat. Fight the flat. Fight the flat.